Social elegance is strategic manipulation. Instead of just trying to understand why the toxic narcissist does what they do, instead of understanding why somebody will behave a certain way and try to use you to their advantage, instead of trying to understand why somebody will powergasm over you, what did you do, what was your weakness, you also have to assert and manipulate the perception of you to get what you want. The people that you're dealing with have been playing the power game for a really long time. So if you want to compete in the marketplace and achieve the goals that you want, you also have to play with how you're being perceived. When you really get to know geniuses or talented people or somebody that you put on a pedestal because they're a celebrity, they're famous, they seem to be really good with people, they seem to be good at everything, those people are controlling the perception of themselves by curating exactly what they want to show you, only their strengths, to create the perception that they are the best at what they do and creating this image that is larger than life. All the world is a stage. When you go to your corporate job, that is your stage. If you're an actual performer, you're on stage, that is your stage. If you're an artist putting out art in an art gallery, that is your stage. When you're a writer, you are exuding a personality. You are a personality and a personal brand. Stop trying to be authentic, exactly who you are, trying to gain respect, being all the mess that you are, revealing all your weaknesses and being transparent, because that is exactly what's been getting you to these really challenging, difficult situations that you dig yourself into, even getting to the point of being mobbed and scapegoated because you gave away your weaknesses instead of leading with your strengths. So many of you are deathly afraid of being seen. You want to put yourself out there. You want to write articles. You want to write your book. You want to speak on social media. You want to create your personal brand. You want to influence and persuade people, which is ultimately a leadership position. If you're afraid of taking a leadership position, you are afraid of criticism and judgment and having to deal with the consequences of shining. Any work that is worthwhile, there are risks involved. And that's just part of being in leadership. That is part of being a generator, a manifester, a creator. Now, how does this aspect relate to how we started this video with social elegance being the art of perception, strategic manipulation? That's because even the persona that you put yourself out there is a perception of you. You have to create a persona that is a combination of all your strengths, and that's your personality brand that you put out there. If you're in a corporate job, you need to do that at the workplace. If you are a performer, an artist, you need to do it in your line of work. I do it on camera when I'm speaking to you here or on social media, when I'm writing my books, when I'm coaching my clients. I lead with my strengths, with my excellence. And if you observe any high performers, they all know what their strengths are and they double down on it. Nobody sits there shy, uncomfortable, sorry to exist, because all they can think about are the weaknesses, and the weaknesses are what people are going to attack and criticize. First things first, be very clear of what your goals are. If your goal is to make more money, then who's the diva who's going to generate that money? Who's the bad bitch? And what is that personality that works for you? Look back to the feedback that you used to get from people when you did something and you had a very positive reaction. For me, it was boldness, my ability to discern, observe, and share my perspective. This got me in trouble a lot when I was young, but as I came into my power and realizing that exhibiting that part of me is what got me the most attention, which got me in trouble a lot when I was young because of the gender biases and how I had to fit into a certain mold of what it's like to be a girl with my background and my cultural background. It didn't work so well for me. And I also grew up in a very white dominated environment. So shining was a big problem for me, but that's in the past because we're conditioned to be protective of ourselves, to be safe in our environment, our initial condition. What ends up happening is that you carry all the survival skills and you still think that the world is the same place, the same dangers are present even when there are not. You're a fully grown adult. You are a diva, you're a bad bitch. You own your power and you have something that everybody wants to see because it's going to add to their life, change their life, inspire them, teach them something that's going to make their life better. Ultimately, you're here to give other people more power and privilege. And that starts with your strength. When you contribute to that level and help a lot of people, that just translates to money. It's really that simple. When you give people the ability to express, the words and language to communicate, if you teach them a skill that's going to give them more power and privilege, and the more you do that, all of that turns into money for you. If you understand this, you play the rules of capitalism well. If you're in corporate and you think this is not applicable to you, it is applicable to you. Because if you want to make more money, then look, observe carefully. What are the projects? What are the skills? What are the aspects in the business that they care about the most? I'll bet you it's anything to do with increasing revenue or managing risks. If you can be a significant value to those areas of the business, then you will be somebody special. And businesses always protect the person that adds a lot of value to their business. If two colleagues get into a conflict, person A and person B, if person A has a lot of network, they are a great contributor in the area of the business that is the most valuable to them, increasing revenue, managing risk, and person B is someone who comes and just does their task, even if person B is in the right and person A bullies person B will be eliminated and not person A. The world is not about justice, it's about capitalism, patriarchy, and racism. Is power hierarchies. Now, in a case like this, it's 100% capitalism, social network, somebody more valuable to the money and managing risks, somebody who has clout, somebody who is liked. Ultimately, you have to be liked because success in capitalism is a popularity contest. When you are visible, you are doing risk management for your career. You putting yourself out there increases clout, network. When you're visible, you have more opportunities that come to you. When you put yourself out there as an expert, then people want to work with you. They see you as someone valuable who can give them more power and privilege, either increasing revenue or managing risks, or even if you're in fitness, you're helping somebody become more fit, becoming much better fit to patriarchal standards. That gives them power and privilege. That empowers them. If your business or whatever you're doing in your corporate job doesn't give a sense of power and privilege or contribute to power and privilege of the entity or the people that you're working with, then you do not have value. You have less options, especially if you're less visible or you do not have visibility, you just sit there and do your work. That means you increase the risk of you being bullied, abused, scapegoated, and that's where you're pushed to do work that is beyond your job description and what they're willing to pay you in salary. Your career success is not about competence, because tell me why your manager or someone that you know who keeps going up the ladder, or a business person that you see who suddenly gets a ton of success really quickly, you're more competent, you know more, you're more experienced, but tell me why those are the people who end up getting into greater leadership positions and making more money. Yes, there's patriarchal biases, there's gender biases. Yes, there are racial biases, but more than anything, if people like you, they will make sure that you hold power, that you get opportunities. If you want to be charismatic, then you have to be liked. And how do you do that? By being a great listener, by making people feel like you're giving them inspiration, power, privilege. They have to love being around you. I want you to right now drop in the comments what aspects of social elegance you'd like me to make more videos of, because I will drop those videos in the coming weeks. If you're ready to just go ahead and change your destiny, change your fate, change your income, then go down to the description below, watch the social elegance presentation, book a call with my team to join our Unleashed Social Elegance program cohort. Here we learn social strategies for women and women of color. I can't wait to watch you soar. Go down to the description and tell me what videos you want to see. And for those of you who are committed and ready for your diva bad bitch era, go down to the description below and book that call, and I'll see you in our coaching program.